Welcome to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Nilaus and we are continuing, and today is going to be the day where we're going to design our Dyson Sphere. So sit back, relax and enjoy the ride. That's what we're going to do. Well, first I am always just recapping a few things. One of the things that I'm recapping here is now this is my oil. Basically Vichu here is getting more and more things sort of stripped away because they get less and less useful. And then the only thing that will be remaining on this planet is the coal production and the oil processing. So those will remain on Vichu as we progress to move other things away. Also science for now, but that will later on and hub. So yeah, there'll be a few things still remaining here, but all the sort of industrialized things such as smelting columns and such, I want those out of here. Like that one has no, okay, that one has a business here because that's graphite. When we need graphite, that's where we want it. Anyway, what I've also done is I've removed the production of organic crystals because it just didn't make sense to me to produce them here. It was supposed to, I think it was down here or something. So what I do instead, I do here. I am simply requesting it from the location and we're building, and that will be where we do it. So that's not what we want to do. We are going to, there we go. It's still shooting feverishly at the star. Puss and cabbage. Well, I mean, looks good. Looks good. Right. So at the last episode we built some rockets. Let's see if we have some of those accumulated, and we'll, it's always like a troublesome to click on this because if something is running out, that sucks. Yeah, plate filters are running out. We know that. That's because the Casimir crystals, I just restarted it by doing the direct import. Deuterium is also kind of lacking here, but we do have a few rockets to launch at this moment. So we do have something that's good, and the deuterium, I can fix that later. We certainly have enough deuterium around, so just doubling, tripling, quadrupling it is not going to be a problem. What I do want to do though is, man, I was hoping this one would have been done by now. It's almost done, but not quite. It's like 1600. Well, I think that by the time we build something else, we might be able to knock it out. So what we're going to do is I have requested 100 of these bad boys here. These are vertical landing silos. They are now being produced in my hub, so I can request it. And they are pretty big, and there is a trick to it. There's a very, very cool trick indeed. Let's see, how do I want to make this? There, that's the location. And then if I rotate it like so, simply put that indicator, that little round indicator which indicates the middle, put that here, and then you can rotate it again. And then what you can do is you can just go, and they will now feed into each other. That is super, super awesome. And it, first of all, it looks great, and it's really tightly packed because they are gigantic, these buildings. So I don't know if that's intended, but it's certainly just, in my opinion, the best way to do things. I'm going to do my usual cut through here instead of doing uppers and unders. Then we do this and filter for that. Cool. I'm gonna get something out here. Well, maybe we should get this in requested first, and that will now go into here and then shoveled in here. Sweet. And in terms of power, well, I'm pretty sure we can build the power here. Build like this, and then it'll also build like that and that. So that will box everything in, except actually, oh, I can't even walk through it. Except that one. But that's actually pretty good that that's not getting built either, because I want this one to connect, because I have to disconnect the connection from here to here. So if I don't have that connection, then it's not good. And this is connected to that. Cool. And now I think we can replicate it as far as I can tell. Like that. Just keep doing this all the way around. Alright. Let's do that. There we go. So this is now hooked up, everything is ready, and where is it? This is the import, export, import, whatever, and that's where it is. And I managed to just wait until that one was done, so now we have a full circle. That is brilliant. So I could be taking something in here, but I don't really want to do that. Now we're going to get started on the Dyson Sphere design. So what are we going to design here? First of all, we have one here, but I don't want to use it. I don't ever want to use all of them. So I'm going to set a new layer. It's going to be 15,000. Okay, that's a bit much. 15,000. So it's not going to be minimum size. It's not going to be the biggest size. It's just going to be like size. Yeah. And that's where we want it. Good. Let's show this one. I have been considering different options. I will be turning off the run game. Otherwise it keeps spinning and then I get confused. And we can't have me being confused. So I have an idea for a pattern. And it's every one of these will be different. So it's important to take the graticule one because that one will make this look very, very neat. Because it actually follows the direction of the planet, or sort of the curvature of the planet really nicely. Making that one. Right? And then we go back. See, that's not feasible. So I go here. And if I do just this, first of all, the squares will be too big to actually work. And second of all, they will also take forever to insert because there will be too few nodes. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I do this one. And then down here, instead of making all this, I'm actually going to do this part. So we'll have smaller intersections. Smaller squares. Because the thing is, if I do this one, then I will have more. I'll use no more rockets because the rockets are used for this. But if I use as few rockets as possible, I can save some material. But it will also mean that each one of these nodes will have to fill up a gigantic area, and that's going to take a really long time because they can only add at a fixed rate. So having big squares means less rockets used, but also very slow absorption of solar cells, sorry. And I want to have a good balance of one and the other. Even though this is going to take a lot more rockets, then I still think it's, well, I know it's how I want it, so that's just the way it is. There, and that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these tiles. Like that. And if we just look at it from the side, it has a nice curving spin to it. I think St. Cabbage will be happy if he sees it. See, it's even this S for St. Cabbage. Yeah, that's my, and a C for cabbage. That's actually quite clever. Did not anticipate that. But we're going to make more of those. So yeah, that's just going to be a little bit of clicking, so maybe that is an opportunity for us to fast forward through that. So here we have the completed Dyson Sphere. Well, at least the completed Dyson Sphere design. It looks really good. As it is spinning, it's going to look so amazing as well. But it's not done yet because it's not even started yet. So what we're going to do is we are simply going to request all of them. Just all of them. Plain old plain good, all of them. Yeah, and they will then be starting to launch. That's going to be so enjoyable. This might be a bit shorter episode than usual because there's a lot of design here. And also we're going to be focusing on the creation of this Dyson Sphere. This is of course a project that is it's a mammoth undertaking, and it's going to be something we'll check back on at various points during the campaign as we progress to the next one. And are we getting it? Are we getting the first ones? Oh, there we go. We are getting the first rockets. Let's jump into the air so we can follow the rockets. Where are they? There they are. There we go. They are super fast, so we're just going to try to follow them all the way in. I love the construction of the Dyson Sphere, so this is something I can always just spend a bit of time on just enjoying. We're going to be flying as fast as we can, all the way up to 2,000. There, and then we're gonna have to figure out where they're going. Where are they going? Looks like they're starting to form. So at different locations, like that one, for example. Over here, there's another location. Here. Oh, there we go. It's a thing. It's the first thing. Look at that. The very first Dyson Sphere component structure. And look at this. Just look at this game. It's insanity. Just all the rockets just coming in, and when they come in, they just flip around. Look at that. Rotating? Oh, come on. Give us another one. Oh, I'm colliding. Reversing in here. And once we have, I think it's like 30 of them. Yeah. Then we start building the grids out here. That is wonderful. And right now, we're not really going to get anything interesting from this one, but it's just amazing. I mean, the amount that this game has just decided to, hey, let's make a, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a mini game, but you don't actually have to build a Dyson Sphere to complete the game. But once you've done that, it's really hard not to. It's really hard not to build a Dyson Sphere because they look so good. We're gonna spend so much time on just enjoying it. I always do that with my live streams. It is so beautiful. I love it. I love this game. I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. It is so aesthetically pleasing, and the scale is so grand. So you can see they are just launching feverishly. Right now, we're going to be launching a lot because it's. I'd like to see what that one is like. That one looks like. Oh, this is the top. Is that? Let's see. It is actually the top that got built. Nice. That's weird. Don't think I've seen the top being built first. Where are you? Let's actually try to find the top. Oh yeah, that's the... Oh, I'm flying the wrong way. There it is. That is the top. Let's fly up there and just have a look at it. And just see it progress outwards. That is really lucky because it's random which ones gets chosen. That looks pretty good. And now they're building more. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to go out here. Well, that was an anticlimactic cut. Right, so what do we do now? Well, what's going to happen is that, first of all, I'm going to be flying a bit away from it and while looking at it. There, just wanted that screenshot of that while it was building. So what we are going to do here is this one will just keep going. And then you can see here the solar sails are changing color as they start progressing inwards. If we look at this location, we'll see that this location, for example, it needs structure points. Every structure point is one rocket, and they need 870 rockets inbound. It already has 200. That's pretty good. And then the cell points, there are 88 cell points. That's solar sails coming in out of the 2,240 in total. So gradually, as we build more of these cell points, then we'll be able to absorb more. So this one has already been built quite a lot actually. That's pretty good. And we have 96 inbound. The way that it works is that you can get up to 120 inbound for each node, and that corresponds to 60 per second. No, 30 per second. It's not, no, 30 per minute, right? One every two seconds. That is very, very low absorption. That's why you need many locations here. And you can see there are other things here like that randomly has been selected as one that it wants to go for. Then that will be that one. So what is it we now need to do from here? I think that what we need to do, aside from just enjoying this absolutely spectacular view, we're gradually going to get less power because the swarm will get absorbed into here. So we are now from the sphere generating 66 megawatts. Not a lot. So, but it'll work, and when the sails get absorbed into the sphere, then it will no longer decay, and that is super nice. So what is it from here that we want to do? Well, we are going to use a lot of solar sails for this one, and we have built a lot of graphene, but it's actually not the graphene that's our biggest issue. It is I hyperspaced. Okay, I guess I hyperspaced here. There. It is actually not the graphene that's going to be our biggest issue. It will be... Let's go to the solar cells. No, that's not it. The other one. There we go. Solar cells. Yeah, so they are suffering for two different reasons. Mainly one. Mainly the fact that it's just not producing fast enough. No matter how much I produce, it's just not fast enough. This one is producing so that it consumes full belts. Right? It is... Let's just make sure. This one is on a 2 per second, no, 2 per 4 seconds, so 1 every 2 seconds. So we have, yeah, it's not quite that one, and that must be 24. All right, so 24, that means it's 24 here, that's 12 per second, plus another one, that's 24 per second. So I'm producing 24 per second. It's not much, and it's consuming on the middle lane, it's consuming half of that. Yeah, okay, so what I could actually do, just to scale this one up easily, is just to change this one. Now everything is 1.5 times as fast, and I'm still not going to consume any of this. Nothing will be... Yeah, nothing will be strained here of the resources. Well, they might be, but yeah. So we've increased more solar sails. What we want to do is look at the photon combiners. So photon combiners, that is some prisms that come from glass, that comes from stone, and that's a lengthy process. Or we can do the really cool, extra simple process. That process is going from the optical grading crystals. So what about we look at options for our optical grading crystal? Look at that. Look at that. Just shooting away. Love it. Let's see where we have optical grading crystals. So let's go out and find the location where we will have optical grading crystals. And then let's take a look at the base at that point. Because that's really... I think we can go there and just start establishing a base, and then we can't really be building the whole damn thing, but we can start building it. The main point is really just about launching this and seeing what the Dyson Sphere can do. Sorry, let's do that. All right, here we are. We are warping away. Why are we warping away? We are warping away from our troubles again. But the reason is I found a location out here. It has fire ice, kimberlite, fractal silicon, optical grading crystal, and sulfuric acid. So fire ice plus optical grading crystal can be combined to make lots and lots of solar sails very easily. So that will be a good place. Plus it is a G-type, an O-type star, which means it has the highest luminosity of the entire star cluster here. So this is going to be our future star that we will be going to be building, probably the biggest Dyson Sphere around, but not right now. Not right now. Right now it's just a matter of getting in here and figuring out what our options are. Okay, so let's jump out while we're in this location. and zoom out. Let's look at the quantities in this location. So 100 million iron ore and 128 million copper ore and 93 million silicon. So we can see that by warping a bit away, we have large quantities. This is also why I don't care about 5 million copper or 4 million iron on any given planet, because I'd much rather go out here and harvest it where it will never ever run out. Plus each patch, yeah, each patch will be bigger, and yeah, they won't run out, basically won't run out. I'll get enough productivity, range productivity, to have it never run out. So this is much more comfortable because it's always annoying to set up mines if you don't need it. So this will be good for mining operations, and we're going to be looking for these optical gradient crystals. Let's have a look at what's on each planet. Sulfuric acid, lots of solar energy. Oh, you know what? Let's first fix the first part. That is going to be Sabatron. There we go. Thank you so much. A Master of the Path who's been supporting very generously. Thank you so much, Sabatron. And you have your own star. You're a blue one, aren't you? And that was number 1. Number 2. Oh, that has nothing, but it has basically half of this world's iron and copper. So this is probably going to be a mining operation, also because it's a lava planet and they're kind of boring. So they take a lot of mining operations. So this one could just be a giant mining station, and then that's it. Number 3 has some fire ice and fractal silicon. So that's where we have the fire ice. This one has some graph optical. So yeah, I'll go to that one. Hold on, I needed to actually see it, and that was number 4 there. Hopefully we still have, okay, 4 point something AU. Yeah, we'll jump there. And let's see if we can hit it. It is a Gobi Desert. It's a, well, it is a planet. There, switch. Let's have a look what we have on this planet, and I think that's going to be close to the North Pole. I will stake my claim. This is now our location. Oh, look at that. Every item here gets. Let's actually just look at it. Oh, I already like this location. Everything has like a purple hue to it because of the star. That is such a cool little trick that they do. Nice. And you know, I'm a sucker for that purple color. And this is PJTR 74. There we go. Thank you also to you for the long-standing support and moderation in Twitch and Discord as well. So that's pretty good. Let's try to make it a bit more civilized, shouldn't we? Or maybe we should just check what's on here. There's actually only one patch. Ugh. And we'll tap some fractal silicon as well. Might as well. Yeah, so we'll tap this fractal silicon and we'll tap the optical gradient crystal on this one. I have almost no iron. That sucks. And yeah, okay, well, this is the one we have. So we'll civilize it, and then we can always just use it for lots of production facilities here. And now this planet is ours, as you can see here. We have also set up all the fractal silicon and our lonely single optical gradient crystal. It is unfortunately not a lot, but it is what we have. There is another location in this region. If we look, there should be more out on Sabaton 5. We can also take that. But when we have the optical gradient crystal, then we can also go to this one, which will be next time, where we go fire ice and then combine the fire ice. We'll do this one. Optical gradient crystal comes here, and we'll have to import or build some circuit boards. And then I will go from the fire ice, we'll go here. And then we'll have the graphene. Graphene is going into solar cells. If you look at the solar cells, then basically this is basically the optical gradient crystal, and this is basically the fire ice. So those two things combined is an awful lot of solar cells that we can then produce at this location. This is a really good location to build it. I think this is going to be our primary solar cell location, so that when we tap other planets somewhere, they'll be bringing in the rare materials to this spot, because this is probably where we're going to use the most of them eventually for the biggest star here, or big Dyson sphere around this location. But anyway, it is time for us to wrap up. I wanted to tap this one so we can kind of see that now we're spreading out. Maybe the only thing that would be worthwhile in terms of us going back would be exactly that, going back and just having a look at here at St. Cabbage to see if our Dyson Sphere has somewhat progressed a bit. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Why are we not lift off? Come on. Lift, 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 lift. There we go. That was somehow surprisingly difficult. Maybe there's a lot of gravity. And we are going back. So we are just gonna cut it back, and then I'll see you back at St. Cabbage. And here we are back in real space. Look at that beautiful sight. Look at that. It's definitely getting somewhere. It doesn't look very beautiful actually. It's just like big fragments. Let's have a look at it from out here where we can do, just zoom on that one, rotate on this, have our top sphere here and our bottom one is completely done, and then we can start seeing those, we can start seeing the shape down here, but not much on that. Let's have a look at it from this view. We have now moved 1.59 gigawatts of energy into the sphere, moved it out of the orbit. You can see the orbits are thinning, and you can see here they are just gradually just filling up these locations. If you look at something like this, it is filling up to the 3080 that it needs, but we're probably not launching as many rockets as we should right now, so there is definitely a lot of things for us to get started on next time with just, this is using so many materials that it's going to be difficult to keep up, but it's a long-term project, so not everything needs to be fired all at once. But that is not something we're going to be worrying about right now. We are just going to enjoy the view, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you're happy that we are starting on the Dyson Sphere, which is really just, now we're getting into the end game, and then we can start working towards the mega basing. Mega basing with, I don't really have a science target for this base, but it's going to be big, and I want at least 6 Dyson Spheres in this this cluster. So let's see. I want a Dyson Sphere around every single one of my named planets, and the named stars. The named stars are the masters of the path, and they definitely deserve a Dyson Sphere each. And then we'll scale up with a silly amount of science on top of that. I will see you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care and stay effective.